All right. Welcome to On The Sideline. I'm your host, Jeff Holden. Today, we got Coach Evan Hearn.
I don't know what that was. There we go.
Is that Mavs on top or something?
Yeah, Mavs on top. Yeah.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, right there.
Gross. I'm just kidding.
You're a Mavs fan.
And our special guest, man of the hour, head coach and athletic director of the Crowell Wildcats, Coach Aaron Maxwell. Listen to all your fans. All right, so as you go into your second year in that position, just give us a little introduction about yourself, who you are, and your coaching career.
Okay. Again, Aaron Maxwell. Let's see, I've been, probably 10th, 11th year coaching. I don't know. I started way back in the day at a private boarding school outside of Glen Rose, Texas. Prior to coming to Crowell, was at Lorain, Texas for a couple of years. So, and then 2 years here in Crowell. So,
very good, very good. And so you've been here 2 years in Crowell.
Yes, sir.
Let's touch on last year's season. We'll just get right into it. How was last year's season for you guys?
I think we achieved our goals. Again, I came into a situation with pretty senior heavy team. They'd had some good success the year before. We'd actually played them the previous 2 years in Lorain and split that series with them. We beat them in Lorain, and they beat us there in Crowell. So I kind of knew a little bit about what to expect with the guys who were returning. We had 5 seniors that returned with a lot of experience and playing time. And so it was kind of just a lot of fine-tuning and tweaking, getting them used to what I wanted to do. We ended up second overall in our district, and then that granted us the honor of getting slaughtered by Jayton.
Oh,
so
perfect.
Yeah.
But I think we met our expectations. Those were the goals we had for the season. Great group of seniors that we graduated, played hard, played tough, exactly the way we wanted them. So it was a good first season to kind of get in there with that.
So, Coach, let's talk about Crowell. We know or maybe for some of our viewers, they may not know it's a 6-man school. So I want to ask you, when did your love for 6-man football occur?
I started my coaching career back at a place called Happy Hill Farm back in Central Texas. And I'd seen some 6-man football, but I went to big 5A high school outside the Metroplex. So up until probably a grown adult, I had no experience with 6-man football, but then kind of came on and started doing some things with the program there at Happy Hill Farm, and I grew into some. I was there for about 10 odd years, and then worked into a coaching position. And yeah, man, I know there are a lot of people who love 11-man football, but it's kind of like if you go watch 6-man football and you be around it enough, you go back and you watch 11-man football and you're kind of like, yeah, this isn't as exciting. It's not as fun, and so it's hard not to love it once you get into it. You really get to it. So it really was. I just fell right in love with it. Worked with a great coach there who mentored me and brought me along, and we had a lot of good success our years there. So it really was kind of one of those things. I can't imagine myself ever leaving 6-man football. It just doesn't. I don't know. I've tried to talk myself into the idea of 11-man football. It just don't work out.
Yeah, and what's crazy is last year when we started all these interviews and stuff, we have all you guys come on, and last year was my first experience with 6-man football. I learned a lot about it, and I actually have fallen in love with 6-man football. Watching the game, these guys haven't got to experience it yet, but I went out to quite a few games this last year, and I even had the opportunity to go to Waco and watch Wichita Christian win the state championship. So it just seems so much more fast paced. It's just so much more, and like, I don't know, it's you wouldn't think just sitting back and you're like, oh, 6-man, 11-man, like, you know, there can't be too much differences, but it's like a whole lot of, it's way more fast paced. It's got, you know, 4-point field goals, 2-point extra points. I mean, and I noticed this, and I tell the other 6-man coaches this. One thing I really noticed about 6-man football is the importance of a good kicker.
Yes, absolutely. You gotta be able to make extra points, and then you got to be able to have a kid who can onside kick it well. And yes, it's because again, a lot of times you sort of look at your defense and go, your defense coordinator and go, hey, we need 1 or 2 stops a game, or maybe a half. And if your kicker can nail and if you can score on your offense possessions and your kicker can boot it through every time, you're going to win.
Yeah.
I've lost many a game in my career because the kicker had an off night and he missed 3 extra points, and you end up losing by 6, and you go, well, you make all 3 of those, we win instead. And so it really is a big thing. It's kind of like the old monster truck commercials. We'll sell you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
Yeah.
That's kind of how a lot of those games are, and it's very exciting. And if everybody that's listening out there, if you've never had an opportunity, you need to go check one out. Y'all, again, Wichita Christian, good school. We played against them when I was at Happy Hill Farm many a time, and obviously, last year they beat up on us real good. And they had a great run. So you don't have to travel far outside of Wichita Falls to see some good. I mean, Harold's got good 6-man football. So does Northside. I mean, it's not far away if you want to go check one out on a Friday night. And usually you get a real good hamburger at those, or a sausage wrap or something like that.
Smaller
concession stands.
Better cooking. It's not a mass quantity.
Yep. They're cooking everything right there on the grill.
And you mentioned it. I mean, we do have really great 6-man football right here in this area. I mean, and it's like, and I'll go ahead and touch on whenever you have a dude like that can play the game, that is a game changer.
Yes, sir.
Like, and so I'll touch on one of our questions we have been asking. What is your name for a player that is really good? We've heard a cat, a dog, a dude, a GoDaddy, him. Like, what do you call?
I mean, usually we've got one of those in our district with Keegan Hayes at Benjamin. I mean, and I pretty much go like, hey, he's a guy.
A guy.
He's the guy. He's the man. You gotta handle him. Unfortunately, we played Jayton in the first round. Is like, well, they got 6 the guys out there.
They got guys.
They got guys with an S.
And then they got guys on the sideline that could probably come in and take over for those guys. But that's why they won
pretty good. Yeah.
That's why they won a state championship last year in football and have won 2 state basketball championships in a row because they've got the guys. And there was a time back 2013, 14, 15, 16, Crowell.
Yeah, Crowell.
Had the guys. They had the guy with Coach Parsley there who shout him out. He got inducted into the 6-man Coaches Hall of Fame this year. So that's a great honor. I think it's a great honor for our community and obviously for him personally, but definitely for our community. So
not to cut you off, but as you guys know, I'm from Plainview, and so for me to get from Wichita to Plainview,
you gotta go.
I'm just kidding.
Don't. I need O here. Anyway, so pass.
They
through,
forget I got all the sounds, so I can really
pass through Crowell, and you see those state championship monuments. And I didn't know him, but his son, correct me if I'm wrong, Mitchell, was that his son? Yeah.
Yes.
And so you had Mitchell, and you probably don't know this, but a 6-man quarterback at Crowell. They won state. He ends up going to play 11-man college football at Wayland, and he he ended up doing some great things at Wayland. Before
Yeah, so that goes to show you that when you're the dude or the guy, like it doesn't matter what. I mean, take a look at. I don't know. You may have faced him. I don't know. Grayson Rigdon.
Oh yeah, he went ahead and beat us in the state championship in Lorain a couple of years ago. So yeah, I'm real familiar with Grayson, with that guy. He definitely was definitely whatever adjective you want to use for him. He was legitimate football player. I mean, and obviously that shows because he won 4 state championships in high school, and he's going to play D1 college football. So I mean, he's a guy, but I think just across the state, the talent level within 6-man, within 1A football across the state is just increasing exponentially. Like 2 years ago, Benjamin was the only team beating us. When we were in Lorain, they were the only team that was capable in the state of Texas of probably beating us. And we got to play them twice, and we took them. We were one of the only teams that year that took them into the fourth quarter of a game. And so it really is, again, and folks around this area don't have to drive far to see great 6-man football. And again, it's not expensive to go buy a ticket. You don't have to fight huge crowds. You're going to get fed well. It's a great atmosphere. So nobody's checked it out. They should definitely go.
Yeah, and a bonus of the 6-man football, for those of you who don't know, is you don't have to sit through a whole game if it's a one-sided game. I mean, they have the rule of 45. Yeah. So if you're beating a team by 45 points at halftime, that's it.
You can be
Game's
going
over.
home.
Yeah, you go home early.
Yep.
So I've actually benefited from that. I went to a game. It was a 45-0 or 45 at halftime, and I had enough time to go catch the second half of an 11-man game all in one night. So, I mean, most people don't want that to happen, obviously, but you can. I mean, at least you don't have to sit through another half of football with, a bunch of or super slow or whatever.
And it is a good rule. Again, being on both sides of that equation, it's nice because again, there were some teams we 45'd at halftime, and it's like, yeah, we'd have just continued to hang points on you, even with using the 2 or 3 bench players I had. We'd have still, and then being on the other end of it, it's like, yeah, you guys would have continued. Jayton probably would have beat us 100-16 if we'd had to play 4 quarters, and that doesn't. In our game, that doesn't do anybody any good because, again, I had 9 guys on my football team last year, so it doesn't – if I got to come out and play a second half when I'm already getting beat by 45, I'm just risking injury to my guys. The other coach is just risking injury to his guys.
Yeah.
And so it really is – I don't know that rule probably works in 11-man because you got 50, 60 kids, a lot of instances on your sideline. But for us, it really is.
It's super cool. I mean, it's super nice that it has that. And
you don't want to be on the wrong end of that 45 situation. It
not
really,
too many times.
It makes the bus ride home not fun. But but when you're on the right side of it, it really is nice to, you go, oh man, I'll be done uploading film, and we'll be done talking about the game, and I'll be home by 10 o'clock instead of midnight or 1.
So you touched on bus ride home. Most likely, or a lot of times, in 1A school or 6-man teams, you wear many hats.
Yep.
Are you the bus driver?
Yes.
Okay, so along with head coach, athletic director, bus driver, what other hats do you wear?
I'm the head basketball coach, the head track coach, and then I coach – or I teach 8th through 12th grade social studies.
Wow. Okay.
So
lawn care?
No. Thankfully, we do have somebody that comes out and mows the field for me. We do have to stripe the field. Have striped game field, and practice field. Have to water the practice field. I do have a sprinkler system on my game field, so I don't have to. So, but that that's the way it is. and every 1A coach is doing a little bit of everything. Again, it's one of those places like, hey, no shade at 5A, 6A guys. I don't have 20 assistants to take care of everything.
What does your coaching staff consist of?
Sure. Well, last year it was me, and then our principal, Craig Templeton, came out of retirement to help me. He would come out after the school day was over, sort of run the scout team, and then he would be on the sidelines on Friday nights.
After school.
Yeah, after school. So I would be responsible for the offensive and defensive game plans, also calling the offense and defense on Friday nights. I also coached the junior high by myself on Thursdays because he would be up in the press box running the game clock.
Did you have a headset to talk to him and say?
Nope, we didn't have any of that. I'd just look at him. If it got too bad and just be giving him, I'd be like,
there you go, wind it up.
Don't pay attention to these officials. Just keep that clock running. But thankfully, this year I've got 2 assistant coaches.
Nice.
I've been blessed with that. So it didn't change my head coaching responsibilities.
So one question. You said you were the OC and the DC.
Yeah.
So who did you get mad at? Yourself on offense or yourself on defense? Not scoring enough and our stopping.
Yeah, really a whole lot of, just angry at myself on Saturday mornings if I did something stupid. So, yeah, it was very schizophrenic, I think. And I don't wish to, again, I got a couple of assistants this year that I get to turn the defense over to. They're great. They're going to do a great job. And so I'm like, okay, I'll be able to at least breathe and think about some changes and adjustments and all that.
I'm about to say, can you imagine his halftime adjustment speech to himself?
Yeah.
From himself.
Yeah, it'd be a whole lot of just talking to myself and then looking at the boys and going, well, okay, we got to block better, we got to tackle better. If you just do those 2 things.
We got to stop the other team from making points, and we got to score more points.
Yes, yeah, pretty much.
John Madden speech.
Yeah, a lot of times. But it's a lot of times it's that simple too.
Yeah. So let's go into your actual roster here.
Sure.
If you could, by name, mention a couple kids that you lost, seniors that you lost, and then maybe name some of your returning starters, or let us know how many returning starters on both offense and defense.
Well, we lost just about all the starters.
Both sides?
Yes.
Well, it is 6, man.
Yeah. I have.
Yeah, so you lost 6 starters.
Yeah. Well, I lost 5.
6 dudes.
Five guys that were. And first and foremost, we lost our starting tailback, young man named Angel Escalante. He was an honorable mention All-State player. That's probably going to be the biggest hole we have to fill because, again, he accounted for a large portion of our offense. Also lost my quarterback, Aiden Villa. He'd been I think, at least a 3, if not 4-year starter on the squad. We lost another 4-year starter on the offensive line named Tyle Halsell. All these guys were at least all-region or better players in their senior seasons. And so, yeah, it's tough. We're bringing back our starting center. He'll be a sophomore, young man named Jodon Emery. Again, he was an all-region player as a freshman. He's a hard worker. That young man, he gets after it. He tears it up. He stepped up real big last year. It's not easy to come in and play center as a freshman, and he really acquitted himself well. Then we'll be returning a young man named Daniel Rodriguez. He played on the line last year. He'll be a senior this year, but he'll probably be playing tailback for us this year. He was our backup tailback, and in some limited action, he ran really well. Runs hard. He gets after it when he's on the field. So those would be the 2 returning starters. Then we'll probably have a couple of bench players back as well from last year's team, and then probably the other 7 or 8 guys, either freshmen or sophomores who didn't play last year. So we'll be growing
So
and learning.
do we have a starting quarterback yet? Has he been named, or is there a battle going on? Or
We have a starting center. That's what we got. Joe Don, I know he's going to be my center. He'll probably play nose guard, and then every other position on the field is going to be up for grabs. So the next few weeks, when we start fall practice and through the scrimmages, everybody's going to be fighting for their spot. And
so how was your summer attendance for summer workouts? And then do you have some younger kids, like you mentioned, freshmen or sophomores that you might be excited about?
Yeah, it's been up and down as far as summer attendance. We've had some good weeks. We've had some down weeks. Being in a farming and ranching community, a lot of times that attendance is at the whim of what needs to get harvested.
Yep, harvest season. Yep.
And so we've had, I've had weeks where I've had many kids there, and then the week after, hey, where you guys been? I've been on a tractor, coach. Mm-hmm. And so I can't, you sit here and go, well, you're not laying at home doing nothing. You're out there doing something productive. So I can't, you can't fault a kid for being out there helping his family,
Nope.
doing what he's got to do to help his family make their ends meet. And so it kind of rides that wave. If they're in the middle of needing to bale hay, they're not there. If they're done baling hay, they'll be there for 3 or 4 days, and then they're back doing something else. Or if they got to go work cattle 2 or 3 days, they're not around, and then they're back. And that's just that's one of those things you just in that situation you just gotta roll with it and take the kids that are there and work them hard and try and get them better, and then go, okay, we'll try to catch up as quick as we can once we start back in August.
Yeah.
And so you mentioned your total last year was 9 on the varsity. Do you expect that number to be about the same or higher? And if so, do you guys field a JV?
We will not field the JV. Probably we're looking at having about 12 or 13 kids. We had a pretty big boy heavy class of 8th graders.
Okay.
That's coming in. And we have a couple of young men who didn't play football for various reasons last year that have decided that they're going to come out and roll with us this year, which, again, in my situation, I don't ever turn a kid away.
For sure.
You want to show up, you want to work hard, you're going to get a jersey, and I'm going to do everything I can to get you on the field. So yeah, we're hoping we'll have about 12 young men out, at least enough to be able to field a full scout team this year.
Yeah, that'll be good. So let's dive into your schedule here. Did we already do schedule?
We didn't do schedule. We
Okay,
just talked
sorry.
about the
Sorry. So I didn't think so, but I want to make sure. What's your pre-district schedule look like, and then what does your district schedule look like?
Yeah, it is. Our first month it's again, being in the second year of a realignment, kind of inherited a schedule, and that's okay. It is what it is. But yeah, we'll play week 1 at the Jayton Classic against Borden County. So
it was really usually perennial
perennial
out there
playoff
in West Texas. Yeah,
team, usually within the top 20, 15 of the state, pretty much year in and year out. Then week 2 we'll play Newcastle, which will be a top 10 team this year. I imagine I've probably talked to Coach Archer.
Yes, sir.
They've got one of those dudes there.
Yep.
And then week 3, we play Motley County, so another top 10 team. I take it back. Week 3, we play St. Joe. I apologize. We play St. Joe, so that'll be a tough match. I know Coach Hans graduated a lot of guys, but they had a full JV schedule, full JV team, so those young men will be prepared. So that's going to be a tough one. Then week 4, play Motley County. And then it's crazy to say that at week 5 it starts to get a little easier with Knox City, but it does. They graduated 11 seniors. So,
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So we'll kind of, at that point, we might be into some games where we're a little more even matched. Then we play Throckmorton their week 6, have our bye, and then we get into our district. So, and that's the goal, is kind of once we get to about week 5, we're kind of tested, we're healthy, and we're now able to get into the part of our schedule. We should be competitive, hopefully, within our district. We should have a very competitive district this year, and we hope to be in the mix.
And what's your district schedule?
We'll play Harold, then Guthrie, then Benjamin, then Chillicothe.
Coach is on it. He
Okay.
nailed it. I was gonna correct him, but he corrected himself on the St.
again,
Joe
hey,
Motley.
The second year of that of your schedule, it ought to be pretty easy because all you did was just flip the places you're
Yeah.
playing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, Harold, you mentioned Guthrie, Chillicothe,
Benjamin.
and Benjamin. Okay, all right. So, and the Hayes kid, he's not graduated.
No, sir. Let's see.
They had Hayes brothers.
Yes.
They had
So
Benjamin,
one
and not Benjamin, that's the
one
school.
of them was a senior last year.
Okay, so Keegan and
Keegan
something
is the
else.
one. Talon graduated. Yeah.
Okay.
And he was a heck of a football player too. But Keegan will be returning. I believe this is his senior season. No. Junior. He'll be a junior this year. So yeah, he'll be here 2 more years. Yeah.
Coach wants him graduated, so
Yeah.
let's go ahead and
Yeah.
Graduate early.
Yeah, go ahead. Get on with your life, young man. Oh no, he's a wonderful young man. Obviously, Coach Hayes, long history there in Crowell, was the head coach during those state championship years. One of his sons played on those teams. The 2 boys that were there with him in Benjamin, they grew up around that team. So I mean, it's a friendly rivalry with those guys for sure. So, but yeah, he'll be there.
Well, you never know.
No, you don't, and that's why we play the games. And you don't, especially 6-man football. You're one injury away from going from dead last in your district to being district champs.
Yeah.
Or one bad bounce of the football in that case. So it honestly is one of those things that we that's what we try to keep the guys focused on is, hey, just one play at a time,
Yeah.
1 week at a time. We don't want to get too high. We don't want to get too low. And we'll just let it all shake out when it's all said and done. And if we did the best we could, no reason to be sad about anything.
Yeah, exactly. Go win every play, I think it'd be really fun to coach at the 6-man level if I ever.
just don't be the OC, DC, and head coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't argue with myself too
You
much.
got to have mirrors or something.
It is, I mean, but
Did you know that, by the way? Because and the only reason I asked, one of our interviewers from Bryson, Coach Ray.
Yeah,
Coach Ray, he talked about his first coaching job, and there was an ad, and just hope I don't butcher this, just an ad, and he applied to be the coach, and he gets down there, and he's asking to meet the head coach, and the lady tells him, "You are the head coach." So
he was the only coach.
and he was the only coach.
Yeah.
So I didn't know. Did you know that going in, or
Well, when I interviewed for the job and accepted the position, I knew we were needing to hire another boys coach because both the boys coaches previously had moved on from the year before, but it wasn't in the plan. We figured we'd find somebody, but we were unable to. And listen, Mr. Templeton, he stepped in and he was a great help. He took a lot of load off, especially during practices, with a lot of things. So, I mean, I'd have probably gone crazy had I not had a little bit of help from him.
Yeah.
And then we were lucky enough to get an assistant hired before basketball season started. So I didn't go completely insane.
There
I
you
probably lost my mind had I had to coach both junior high and high school basketball by myself, I probably.
Well, you definitely kept your hair on your beard, that's for sure. You might have lost it at the top, if anything.
Well,
but
it's still there. It's pushing a little further back on the forehead, but
I like your beard, man.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
It's the
A
I'm
man
jealous
with a
because I
beard
can't grow one.
acknowledges a better beard. That's for sure.
It's
stand at a
kind of the
standby whenever you
it's
walk
kind of
by.
the trademark, I guess, at this point. I don't know
Yeah.
if I were to shave it, the kids would probably think they got a new coach or something. And
Yeah, you
so,
gotta twist it and do Viking type stuff. And put some beads
I have,
in it.
in previous stops, I have let kids braid it on occasion, but they'll have to do something pretty spectacular.
So with your two assistant coaches now, will they take some of the load off of you being like the head
Yes.
track and head basketball coach?
No. I'll still have to.
Okay.
I'll still have to do those things. Again, once we get track season, I am blessed with having a couple of
Right.
coaches on the girls' side that are able to take the girls, and they do a good job with them. At least in that regard, from my AD position, I can at least look at my girls' side and go, I've got some good, experienced coaches that have been there and done that, and so they don't usually cause me too much stress. So
good.
it is a nice blessing to have in that regard. So
Yeah, we talked to one coach this couple interviews ago. He has 6-man coach, 6 coaches.
yeah.
Just to rub it in a little bit.
Well, and there are some, once you get into that D1 level of 6-man coaches, they have, 30. Some of them have about 30 players, and they're running a full JV. They've got they may have 2 junior high teams, and so you kind of need that many coaches to help you handle all of that stuff. With 12 kids, 6 coaches would be.
And you're right, because even us at the 5A level, and I've coached 2A, small school 2A, where we had 6, and you look across the way and there's a team in your district has 10, 11, 12, and then I went from the 6A level and now to the 5A level, and we're like, it's 12 to 14 of us, and then you look across the way and there's 14 guys don't even have headsets, just walking the sideline. I'm like, yep, that was the freshman coach I saw last night. That guy coached JV, and so some people have a luxury.
But it's all that brings its own. As a head coach, as an athletic director, that brings its own different set of things you got to work out and plan and figure out, and so you just gotta, as I say, you gotta choose your hard.
Yeah, for sure.
And
I think it gives you a more personal, feel for your kids as well.
And again, not to throw shade, but I like to look at a lot of people. Well, you want to know what kind of coach you are? Come coach 1A sports, because you have to coach
it all,
everything,
Yep.
and you don't. Again, we're not like Legacy High School here with 100+ kids out for the football team, and so the best 50, 60 are on the sideline Friday night. I may have to play some kid one week on the offensive line who can't even who can barely bench press the bar, and you got to get him coached up and you got to get him ready to go. And so it really, it lets you know what you're about. It lets you know, hey, can you hang? Can you do the job? Can you coach kids? Can you teach them skills? Can you get them prepared to play a football game or a basketball game or, whatever it may be? Hey, we need a 5th kid to run cross country. Yeah, you're going to do it, and so we can make a team and have a chance. And, and you got to take that kid who sits there and goes, 3 miles. Shut up, coach. Go kick rocks, and you go, no, you got, and you got to turn
You're going to
him
be kicking rocks, running the 3 miles. Let's
yeah,
go.
yeah, you got to take that young man or that young lady and turn them into a runner, that can help your team. And so it really is like you can't hide down there.
Yeah,
you can't
no.
hide. You
No.
either can coach or you can't. And that's coming from a guy who's fairly mediocre, I think, to be quite honest. I'm not of much count, to be quite honest. So,
I'm sure others have disagreed.
well, I don't know.
But let's move to the next little bit, and this is something that our missing guy, I wish he would have been here today, but unfortunately he's not. He has this segment that he calls the Big O Special. Okay, it's about he loves food, so his thing is his little Big O Special is a food thing.
I love food too. So
all right.
let's
So
go.
the question is, the first question is, what is the best place to eat in Crowell?
Well, we've only got two. We got a place called the Dairy Bar. So if you want breakfast, that's where you want to go. And they're open for breakfast and lunch, so they serve good breakfast and lunch. And then we've got a local pizza joint. So if you want some supper, go in there and get you a great set of pizza from Sweet Tea's Pizza. Obviously, we got an Allsup's. So I guess if you just want to buzz
Beef
in and
and
get an
bean.
Allsup's burrito, that's always available for you. But yeah, the Dairy Bar, that's where you want to go for breakfast or lunch. Sweet Tea's Pizza to end out your evening. Both of those will do you right.
All right, and so we'll say Dairy Bar. What is Coach Maxwell's go-to at the Dairy Bar?
Well, I'm probably if I'm going in there, if I've got to have the time to go in there, it's probably going to just be a bacon cheeseburger with some French fries and probably a bad for me Coca-Cola.
For breakfast?
Oh no, I'm not up early enough to go. I don't have time to go to Dairy Bar for breakfast. I'm eating Pop-Tarts for breakfast.
All right. Well, you said for breakfast, so I was like, okay.
Well, listen, that's
No
where
worries.
that's where all the Cowboys go. So it can't be bad if the Cowboys are in there eating
They're
breakfast,
probably eating good old.
bacon and eggs.
Bacon,
Sunny
egg.
side up, eggs.
Me, I'm probably getting a chicken fry in the morning.
Yep. But I know lots of kids come in with. But yeah, I'm eating a Pop-Tart on the way to school.
All right, so then the pizza place. Let's
You
say
bet.
the pizza place. First question is, and this is debatable. This might cause a riot. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
Sure. Stick whatever the heck you want on pizza, man. It's your life. Do what you want.
I've had pineapple on pizza. It ain't bad. Now, I'll tell you what I did try. My favorite show, one of my favorite TV shows growing up was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Never heard of it.
Whatever. And they had anchovies. So I tried an anchovy pizza. Not.
Yeah,
That's your first mistake. Is
Yeah.
trying an anchovy anything.
Well, you know how it's like watching SpongeBob. I want a Krabby Patty.
For the record, pineapple does not belong on pizza. Anyways.
Again,
I thought
Dude.
he
What's
lived
your
a little bit.
pizza? What's your pizza when you go into Sweet Tea's Pizza?
listen, I'm real plain. Just pepperoni. I mean, I don't necessarily. I mean, I just ate here in town. Ate a pizza with was it arugula on it, some sort of salad on top of it. Down the way over here. So I mean, I'm not. But when I go there, just plain pepperoni pizza. They've probably got some of the best crust on that pizza around. So if you're a crust lover, that crust treats you right. So they got a real good spinach artichoke dip out there as well. That
Coach approved.
Yep.
So
I don't know what
you
that.
eat the pizza and then you dip the crust in the artichoke.
Yep. That's the way to go.
That's the Coach Maxwell.
So then we
usually
got
I'll use a little chip. They give you chips with that. I'll go chips.
okay.
I kind of just like to just eat my crust. It doesn't need anything to go with it. It's already pretty dang good crust. So
Well, they need to just rename the pizza then.
I don't know about that. Now they do have a pizza out there called the Wildcat Special that pretty much has everything but the kitchen sink on it. So, we've not ordered it just because we've got our own favorites. I'm too old.
too crazy.
But yeah, it literally it's like whatever's on the menu.
Okay,
Man,
so
it's
we've talked about
Artichoke dip.
small town, Friday nights at Wildcat Field. What is the best thing to get at the concession stand?
Man,
I know you probably don't need it.
oh,
but
he
I
don't
mean,
even get
to.
Yeah,
Hey, listen.
He's out
I didn't know if
striping the yard, or striping the field, and
he may get one before the game. I don't know. What is?
Listen, I think that they serve pretty killer sausage wrap out there. Our ag folks and 4-H folks, they're holding the concession stand down, and they're cooking it all Outback on the scratch. So they
Pretty good stuff.
make a mean sausage wrap. They'll do you right. So again, there's worse places I think to get a hamburger on a Friday night than Crowell Tech's is a pretty good place.
Yeah. Let's bounce back to football.
You bet.
What is there a game on your schedule this year that Coach Maxwell has circled?
Again, we're kind of probably weeks 5 and 6. We've got those kind of circled as the games where we expect to kind of, we're going to take our lumps the first 4 weeks because those are good teams. Mm-hmm. They should all be playoff teams. A couple of them should be deep running playoff teams. And so we get to Knox City, and that's kind of a rivalry game for us anyways. And the last couple of years, Knox City's kind of knocked us around a little bit, and they're kind of, coach over there, he does a great job, and he's had phenomenal talent and phenomenal players the last few years. So, he's in the having to rebuild cycle just like we are. And so we're kind of look at that game, the game against Throckmorton, as being games where, hey, we're going to hit our stride as we get ready to gear up towards our district schedule. And then pretty much every district game is a circle game. You want to go in and try and win them all and try and be competitive in all of them and get one of those 2 places. It's not easy to play playoff football in the state of Texas. And so just to make it is a great honor, And so,
for sure. Your last question?
Yeah, my last question. I know you've only been there a year, but what has the community and for you meant being a part of the Crowell family?
You bet. So, again, sometimes small towns, as an outside person coming in, it can be a little hard. Small towns are great, but sometimes as a new person coming in, people can kind of keep you at arm's length for a little bit. But we've been very welcomed by everybody there. Again, we have a tremendous booster club. We've had tremendous support from the community. Again, we've been welcomed by everybody that's there. It really, again, it takes a little while for some place to really feel comfortable and feel like home, I think, but we're getting there, and again, that's, I think, a testament to the folks there in the community. They've been great, and it's, again, we love small towns. Again, 6-man coach, I've been in them for a good long while. Mm-hmm. I don't know how y'all live in Wichita Falls, and it's not even really a big city, but
I'm from Burke Burnett, for the record.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I just live here.
Okay.
I'm from a town that's about 25,000.
Hey, even Plainview's too big for me.
10,000.
I like being in that in that little area where I know all my kids' parents. Mm-hmm. I know where to find them if I need to go find them. Sometimes you look at a kid and go, hey, do I just need to call your mom right now? Have her come up here and handle you. And, a lot of times they go, no, Coach, don't do that. Oh, we're good. We're good. Because they know, I know who their parent is. And I know where they work. I know, hey, we sit in church with your mom and dad. You really need me to, you sure we want to go down this way in class today?
For sure.
I may see her at the store later or whatever. And on the other side of that, when their kids do great, it's great to be able to find the parents and say, hey, your kid's been awesome in class this week. Y'all are doing a great job. Thank you for making us feel at home here. Also, thanks for raising a great kid who works hard and does what they're supposed to do and is turned into a great leader within our school and our community. So,
yeah, there's just something about a small town. I'm sure there's a lot of country songs about that, but
I imagine.
Yeah. My last question is, just go over or explain to us, how did Coach Maxwell become a coach?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I was an athlete all through high school. Again, played a few years of football at a large 5A school. I quit growing. Everybody else kept growing. And so I made a business decision and switched over to cross-country track and field for a couple of years there. Again, big 5A school, you get that luxury of being able to just do one sport. And kind of my mom was a teacher. I've got aunts that are teachers. I'm the only coach in the family, but education's kind of just always been in our family. Grandfathers taught. One of my grandfathers taught at the American Airlines Pilot Academy. So it's education's just always been in our family, and so that was kind of the way I was leaning. And then I had a great coach, Coach Steve Telanius there at Marcus High School. He's since passed on, but he was our cross country coach, one of the great cross-country coaches in the state of Texas. Really did have a great influence upon me, and kind of with the idea of, hey, a coach can be more than just helping you be an athlete.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they can really have a profound that coach can really impact your life in a very strong way, both from a character standpoint and, you know, what you're going to do with your life sort of thing. And he really was a great positive influence in that regard, and kind of spurred that idea. And then I took a roundabout way back to coaching. Spent a lot of my younger years in church ministry as a youth pastor in some places, and all of that. And then, you know, just kind of one of those things, you know, you have that light bulb moment where the Lord sort of looks at you and goes, hey, stupid, remember, you know, you can be a minister anywhere, you know. And so, I mean, obviously, public school, we can't go around, you know, telling kids about Jesus every day, but I try the best I can to at least be as honest and real in that regard, you know, and try to model things for them. So, yeah, it was, I don't know, well into my 30s before I got into coaching full time. And then, you know, kind of one of those things, oh yeah, I can still minister to kids. I can still teach kids. I can still educate kids and do this sport thing that I love so much as well. And it all just kind of comes together, and it makes a really great thing. And so we try real hard within our program to make sure the kids know we love them. Tell them every day I love them. Tell them, hey, even if I'm screaming at you because you messed up for the third time in a row, I still love you. And that's a real big deal for us. So I want those boys to know that I do. That I love them. I care about them beyond what they're able to do on a football field or a basketball court. And our assistant coaches, my assistants as well, have the same view, where we have a big interest in making sure we help to come alongside and produce young men who are going to contribute to their communities once they get into adulthood. And I think that's ultimately the goal of what we should be doing as coaches. Again, I also tell the boys, I love to win. I hate to lose. I don't know why you line up to race if you're not going to try to win, but I also make sure they know that's not the only thing. And so it's been a, you know, not a traditional journey, I don't think, for me to get to this place, but I don't know how I'd trade it for anything, because I think it helps inform how I interact with them as well. So
For sure.
Very well put. Very well put. I guess that we'll kind of wrap this thing up here. Do you have anything else for us?
Oh, no. I just appreciate the opportunity to come, and again, I'll talk about how great six-man football is to anybody that'll listen. Again, anybody that watches all this, listens, if you get the chance, go watch a six-man football game. Week 1 out in Jayton, Texas, Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. You're going to see some of the best six-man football games, six-man football teams in the state. square off against each other. Again, heck, go check out a Wichita Christian game. I mean, it really is exciting. It's a great atmosphere to be in. I mean, there again, east, west, north, south of Wichita Falls. You know, within probably about 30, 45 minutes, you can find you some pretty good 6-man football. And again, cheap ticket, cheap concession prices, and and you're not gonna be disappointed, even if it's two not necessarily great teams. You're not gonna be disappointed because those 1A kids play real hard, and they're playing both ways. And again, we'll end football season, and the day after football season over, those same boys will be practicing basketball. And then day after basketball season's over, they'll be on the track. So it really is, it's something everybody should go and experience if they have the opportunity. As great as it is to go to the big-time high school football game and have that atmosphere, which is awesome too, it's great to go to a little bitty town and just pull up, pay your $2 or $3 to get in, get you a hamburger, and enjoy hopefully 4 quarters. But if not, hey,
yeah, that's the thing with
maybe you get blessed and get to go home early and can get to bed at a decent hour.
Yeah, I mean, in 6-man football, I'd love to see the statistics for how many games are like 0-0 into halftime. You're either going to see a high-flying score back and forth, which is going to be entertainment for 4 quarters, or you're going to see one team score 45 points really quick within a half, which is exciting. Unfortunately for that one team, for that side, don't just go as a fan. Don't go as a because you don't know if somebody's going to lose 45. But you're going to see score. You're going to see a lot of scores in a 6-man game, and that's the most exciting thing.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever been involved in a varsity game that's gone 0-0 to halftime.
Yeah.
And I will say the back and forth scoring games, while that seems exciting, they're not that fun to coach because they last forever. And it's one of those things when you usually figure out about halfway through the second quarter that, okay, well, nobody's playing defense today, so we got to score
like he said,
every time.
He was hoping you may talk about 1 or 2 stops a half or maybe even for the game, but you just got to get this stop.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, and that's what those games come down to, kicking.
Yep.
Your kicker. Because I've been to games where the dude who just ran a 60-yard touchdown has to go to the sideline to grab something to stick on the end of his foot so he can try to kick a field goal, and it was terrible.
Yep.
And then I've seen other teams, like the state champion Wichita Christian, that had a kicker that could boot a 40-yard field goal.
You can snap, hold it, and kick it in
too good
that amount of time. So
yeah, but
it is a weapon.
Yes.
You've got that kicker who's automatic. It is definitely
changer.
You can go ahead and add up 2 points every time. So yeah, it's great.
Yeah, so Coach Maxwell, again, thank you so much for making the drive out here. Sorry we kept you a little bit too late.
You're good.
I think we're past your time here, but
okay. It's not bedtime yet, so you're
okay. Be safe on the way home.
Yes, sir.
For sure.
And yeah, we wish you the best of luck this year. We'll be keeping an eye on the Crowell Wildcats.
Well, we'll definitely be a team that's bear in mind a lot of young guys out there when you see those scores. But again, I thank y'all so much, and again, I appreciate everything y'all do, especially making the effort to highlight us smaller school guys. Again, not a lot of people, there's very few people out there that are doing that.
Yes, sir.
And I think our kids at 1A, they deserve as much spotlight as the 5 and 6A kids do, because they're working just as hard as those guys are. And so again, I couldn't care less about myself or any of that. I love making sure my kids get kind of shouted out and they get the recognition that they deserve. So again, thank y'all so much. It's wonderful that y'all are doing that. So please keep up the good work, and
thank you.
Thank you so much, Coach.
And keep preaching that gospel with us.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, if you guys need anything from us, like I said, wish you the best of luck this
Thank
year.
you.
And if you guys need anything from us, you let us know.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all very
All
much.
right,
We
thank
appreciate
Thank
you.
Thanks.